Hi. What were you expecting, the Easter Bunny? No, I'm going to be running the show tonight. And I'm going to do a much better job of it. Where's that other fellow, you might ask? I hear he's hung up at the moment. All right, well, tonight you're in for a very special treat. We've got a pretty big surprise. When you spot it, be sure to let us know down in the comments, okay? Without further ado, let's roll the show.
If God exists, why is there so much evil in the world? It's a common question, but it's misplaced. All things must have balance, light and dark, good and evil, sound and silence. Without one, the other cannot exist. So if that's true, then God does nothing to fight evil? That might be your follow-up question. Of course he fights evil, relentlessly. I am Talian, one of his most holy and righteous angels. I roam the earth, disposing of evil wherever I find it. I kill the monsters you don't ever want to know about. I crush them completely so you can sleep at night. You humans have no idea how many of you live because of the work I do. But what about Stalin, Hitler, Ted Bundy, Jack the Ripper? Well, those are the minor ones I had to let live for balance. The ones I destroy are too horrible and vile to survive. What's funny is while I would wager you have never heard of the name Talian in any religious texts, I bet you've heard of me. Americans, for example, have their own name for me: sudden infant death syndrome. There was no pearly gate. The only reason I knew I was in a cave was because I had just passed the entrance. The rock wall rose behind me with no ceiling in sight. I knew this was it. This was what religion talked about, what man feared. I had entered the gate to hell. I felt the presence of the cave as if it was a living, breathing creature. The stench of rotten flesh overwhelmed me. Then there was the voice. It came from inside and all around. Welcome. Who are you? I asked, trying to keep my composure. You know, the thing answered. I did know. You are the devil, I stuttered, quickly losing my composure. Why me? I've lived as good as I could. The silence took over the space as my words died out. It seemed like an hour went by before the response came. What did you expect? The voice was penetrating but patient. I don't know. I never believed in any of this, I uttered. Is that why I'm here? Silence. I continued. They say the greatest trick you've ever pulled was convincing the world you don't exist. No, the greatest trick I ever pulled was convincing the world that there is an alternative. There is no God? I shivered. The cave trembled with the words. I am God.
It was 1 a.m. Guy Halverson sat in his dark living room. He hadn't moved for over an hour. The accident early that evening kept playing over and over in his mind. The light turned red, but he was in a hurry and accelerated. An orange blur came from his right, and in a split second there was a violent jolt. Then the bicyclist rolled across his hood and fell out of sight on the pavement. Horns blared angrily, and he panicked, stepping on the gas and screeching away from the chaos into the darkness, shaken and keeping an eye on his rearview mirror until he got home. Why did you run, you idiot? He'd never committed a crime before this and punished himself by imagining years in jail. His career gone, his family gone, his future gone. Why not just go to the police right now? You can afford a lawyer. Then someone tapped on the front door and his world suddenly crumbled away beneath him. They found me. There was nothing he could do but answer it. Running would only make matters worse. His body trembling, he got up, went to the door and opened it. A police officer stood under the porch light. "Mr. Halverson?" asked the grim officer. He let out a defeated sigh. "Yes, I'm terribly sorry, but I'm afraid I have some bad news. Your son's bike was struck by a hit-and-run driver this evening. He died at the scene. I'm very sorry for your loss."
That was bundles of fun, and you spotted this week's big secret. Not that it was much of a secret with the YouTube thumbnail, but that's okay. Yes, we had the multi-talented Karai Kitsune guest star as a narrator. Didn't they do a wonderful job? If you want 3D art or texturing done, they might have an open commission slot. Be sure to check the links down in the description and tell them Xio sent you. All right, let's take a moment to thank this week's sponsors. That's right, the Patreons. With their help, we're able to keep the lights on and the show rolling. If you want to help out, you can too by going over to patreon.com/Xiovox. Every little bit helps. Now, in no particular order, this week we've got Cardigan, Reese and Fandrab, Wildkin, Roxy Cat, Matthew Gafford, Karai Kitsune, and Tater Bader. Thank you. All right, you know what? We're not stopping anytime soon, folks. We've got lots more to come. But until then, here's 2 more videos to keep you entertained. I guess we'll see you next time.